Hello, welcome to this extra video that I wasn't planning that I just decided to do. So this video is a video explaining what I'm going to do for Hispanic Heritage Month / Latine, Latinx, Heritage Month. So, first of all, this should be coming out on the 15th, which is the first day of Latine Heritage Month, and it goes from the 15th of September to the 15th of October. And the reason we have it split between 2 months is that a lot of, or I shouldn't say a lot, there's a few days within this 30-day period that are very big days within the Latine community and about independence from our respective colonizers. So that is why the month is set up the way it's set up. And I have some videos somewhere where I think I go into more detail. At this point, doing this for 4 years, I'm not going to go into detail. If you want to know why or find out what days are Independence Days, then you can look it up yourself. But every year I do a vlog. Last year's vlog I did not post it because when I went to edit it, the audio was really bad. Not like fully corrupted, but it was not great. And with new mic, which I know is relatively new, but with new mic and trying to like up my standards, it just was not something I wanted to put on the channel, or also try very hard to make sound well, because I wasn't doing a good job of that anyways. So last year's video did not come out. But this year I'm hoping the audio won't get messed up, and maybe even, I say this every year, but maybe even post it earlier than in a year's time. But this year, for Latine Heritage Month, we have a couple of activities happening on Instagram, which I'm super excited for. So we have the Telenovela Readathon, and this is being run by Jenny Beautiful Books at Jenny Beautiful Books on Instagram. The Reading Raven and Carla is Reading, who Carla is a great member of the Latine bookish community on Instagram and on TikTok, but I don't watch her much on TikTok. I watch her mostly on Instagram, and I love her. She's amazing. She's not afraid to say things that are hard or might, be difficult to hear. I love her. She's amazing. I hope one day she reads my book when I publish it, hopefully next year. But besides that, we have the Telenovela Readathon. I will link to the post that they have about the readathon, and there's a little bit about the history of like telenovelas and its staple. If you are new here, I don't like telenovelas. I don't love soap operas in general, but I really, really dislike telenovelas because I feel like the drama is way too extra. But that's my opinion, and I am in the minority because my mom likes telenovelas, my grandmother loves telenovelas, my nana tells the time by her telenovelas. And I don't even like American soap operas. I have started liking Korean and Japanese dramas, K-dramas and J-dramas. So it's probably just how the story is presented and how drama is presented is most likely what I think is where I feel. but I digress. So there's a little bit of history on telenovelas, which was very nice. And then they give you prompts for what you can read for the telenovelas. Also, I'm going to link, I think I found it on Raven, or not Raven. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Raven. The Reading Grave. I need to check if Carla is Reading also has the links, but I found it on the Reading Grave, or Raven. The Reading Raven. Oh my gosh. I blame Miss Love too. The Reading Raven. Under her link tree, she has links to templates, and then also on Storygraph, you can go on there and join a challenge, and they are the original prompts, and then there's some extra prompts people added, and then book suggestions to meet those prompts. So I will link that also down below. There's that happening, and then the Latinx book bingo is back this year, with a little bit of a twist. So this year's bingo, and I'll have the card here. I'll also have maybe some of the Instagram pictures too for the Telenovela Readathon, but I'll have the bingo thingy here. They are having the bingo again this year, and the difference is that you get to pick your own prompts. You get to fill your own bingo card, which is great. And they give lots of suggestions of what you can do for your bingo card. And then they talk about some reading sprints that they're going to do, and that they're going to come out with some more when they nail things down. And then also the group read for the month, which is It Happened to Anna, A Vengeful Ghost, A Girl Haunted by Loneliness, A New Friendship. So that is the group read for them. Now, what I did so that I can try and participate in both events, being that I do not read as much as these people, which is fair. Not everyone can read that much. Not everyone has the time. I've also been in a slight slumpy slump. But usually Hispanic Heritage Month, Latine Heritage Month kind of boosts me. So what I did is decided to combine the two events, being that I could put my own prompt onto the bingo card. So let me go to my next thing. I'll put what I have here of my bingo card. So what I did is I put the prompts for the telenovela into the bingo card, and then I put the group read in the middle as they have it, and then I added a couple of other prompts from the suggestions on the bingo. So what I have is from the Telenovela Readathon, a book with a love triangle, a book by your favorite author. There is a suggestion in the bingo card to read an author you love. So I kind of combined those prompts together. A book with family drama, a book about friendship, and a book with royalty as the main character. That one was what I was most interested in because I have never read or seen anything with a Latin character that has to do with royalty. So there's that. And then for just the bingo suggestions, I have new to you author, out of your comfort zone. And like I said, I combined it, author you love. And then I added my own because it didn't say you had to, it says you can pick their suggestions for the bingo or add your own. I added Kidlit for one specific reason. Because I failed you all on so many levels. I have not been doing my readathon, or not readathon, my read along club in my Ko-fi. Just because I just haven't been able to. So, because of that, I started reading Alebrijes by, let me zoom in because Lord knows I don't remember names. Donna Barbara Higuerera. She wrote The book I read, I think it was last year, and I did a video on. I can't remember. I did do a video on. I can't remember what the name is called about the young Latin girl who is a storyteller, pretty much in space. And I really love that book, and I love Alebrijes, so I was really excited for this book. It's a really slow start, and I think at the beginning of the year, I just wasn't in the mindset to read it, and it kind of just threw me into a slump, unfortunately. So that is on the list for me to try and finish reading, and as I finish reading it, I will go back and repost into the read along post that I have over on Ko-fi. So we have that. Now I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm putting in the other spots. I'm just going to tell you what my TBR is, and I'll have a picture of what my TBR is because the Telenovela Readathon has had a little graphic for TBR, so I decided to do that. And I'll also be posting this on Instagram, so you can see it on Instagram. But we will be reading a dish best served hot, because somehow I did not read that last year, when last year was the year of reading book 2s. Somehow I missed it. And book 3 is out this year, so now I'm just behind on this series because I really liked the first one. I just somehow missed it. So I'm reading that. Or I hope that's on my TBR. The Caribbean Heiress in Paris. I'm also reading another historical, Ana Maria and the Fox. I used to read a lot of historical romance, or like historicals with romantic subplots. I also have an unhealthy obsession with World War II historicals. So I have a history of reading them. I kind of just fell out of them when I got back into reading, and I started reading specifically romance, and I got into the contemporary romance that was popular at the time that I jumped into reading romance. That compelled me from like YA to adult. And I just never went back to historicals because I was like, oh, I don't know. The main thing that lots of people say of like how negative historicals are, and old historicals, yes, new historicals are not, from what I've heard. As if you're not new here, my listening to Fated Maids and learning how historicals are not maybe exactly what I'm thinking. So I'm going to give some Latine authors a try. Now I've already read Adriana Herrera, who has The Caribbean Heiress in Paris. I've already read a couple books, I think two books from her in different series. So I know I like her writing. So I'm hoping I'll like this one, and lots of people did. Ana Maria and the Fox was a debut, if I remember correctly, when it came out, by Lina de la Rosa, and people enjoyed her book too. I am actually more excited for the second book in that series, so I want to read the first one to read the second one, because I like reading shit in order. Which is hard when there's a lot of backlists, and I'm just like, but I want to read the new one that came out, but I can't because I just can't not read from the beginning. Also, the dish best served heart is from Natalie Kama. I forgot to say that. Then I am reading, or what's on the TBR list, is Certain Dark Things from Sylvia Garcia. I have been wanting to read this vampire dark book from her. I am hoping this is my gateway drug into her collection. So many people love Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and I just have not gotten into it. I do know that there's a couple that don't feel like they'd be something I would read. But I also know there's a few amount of people who love her and her writing and read things that she writes that they would in genres that she writes that people would normally not read from like other authors. Like they wouldn't randomly pick up that book from the shelf from that genre because it's not something they read. But if she writes it, they will read it. So hopefully this is my gateway drug into the Sylvia Moreno Garcia world. Then we're also going to be reading. I have it on the TBR because it's part of the bingo card. The little bit that they put on the excerpt for the bingo, it happened to Anna. It seems slightly interesting, so we'll see if I get to it. But it's by Telo K. Mieha. I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly. And then I have on here The Sinful King by Claire Gonzalez for prompts for the Telenovela Readathon. And then I have Sensation by Ofelia Martinez, also for the Telenovela Readathon. Those are suggestions I got off of the Storygraph. I read their blurbs and they seemed interesting. Besides that, I know nothing about them or even the authors. So I don't know if there's an audiobook, if there's an ebook. If you don't know, I read more audiobooks than ebooks because it's just easier for me. But I've been starting to equal out a little bit more between the two. And then to finally round it out, because I almost forgot it was coming out when I was trying to find a book to fill the like favorite author spot, because my two authors that I do enjoy, that's romance wise, do not have anything coming out that I want to read at the second, and the other books that they do have out, I didn't feel like reading them right now, or putting them on this list. Then I remembered Aiden Thomas, the wonderful person that they are, is coming out with Celestial Moss. Actually, it's already out. But Celestial Moss, I loved the first one. I also adore Cemetery Boys. I have not read the second one that's like a Peter Pan inspired story because every time I'm like, I should give it a try, I read the blurb and I'm just like, this does not seem like something I would like, and then I just don't give it a try. I probably maybe one day will just see if the library has it and try it that way. So we are reading Celestial Monsters to wrap out this duology because I think that's it. I think this is the end of this series, this duology, I believe. So we're going to read that because I'm very excited for that. It ended on a cliffhanger and I was happy and not happy. So I can't believe I almost forgot that this was coming out when I've hearted everything they've put out on Instagram. But yes, so that is my TBR for Hispanic Latine Heritage Month. That is my plans. I will be trying to post updates of when I'm moving on to the next book on Instagram. Not promising shit, but that is my plan. The Telenovela Readathon has a little a thingy that says like current reading template. There we go, words. That I would like to use. I am notorious at wanting to try these things and then forgetting about them or just not doing them. So that is my goal. I'm going to try and do that. If anything, I will maybe try and keep Ko-fi up to date at minimum. Hopefully. If not, the vlog will have all the tea about whether I'm enjoying the book, whether I liked the book. Ironically, last year was the first time I did not enjoy a book, which ironically you guys never get to hear because I had to delete the vlog. And I'm not telling you in this one because that's not the point of this video. this is what I'm doing for Hispanic Heritage Month. We're just going to be focused on books and reading, as I still don't have a working caption card to play on the Switch, to play any Latin games that I do have on my Switch, unfortunately. Also, that one year that I tried to do both, it was a lot. So I'm not going to do that. But I will put links to 2 games that I'm aware of that are Latin creators, or that made by a Latin centered team and are inspired by Latin stories and heritage. So I will put those games down below. And I'm going to try and remember to post them for every gaming stream. For the month, if you have any other games that are either inspired by Latin culture or Latin stories, are created by Latin devs, like developers, sorry, then let me know in the comments and I will check them out and add them to lists. And yeah, if you are interested in something like that and wanting to support Latin creators within the gaming community, as I do both reading and gaming, and would like a constant list or like an easier accessible list, I could put something up on my Ko-fi for free for people to have access to in an easier place. If that's something you would be interested, let me know and I can make it on Ko-fi down in the comments. But yeah, that is it. That is, I'll put the TBR picture up. That is my list. These are my plans. This is probably the most books I've ever had on this list. I will probably only get to a few or a couple. I at least want to read for sure Alebrijes and finish that book. And probably Celestial Monsters are probably like my 2 top like main ones that I want to at least get done for the month. I think my record has been like 4 books, like big, like main books in the month. I did have one month where I read a couple shorts or one short, so I read I think like 5 or 6. But my goal is at least to read those 2 minimum, as I've been kind of slumpy, so I don't want to actually expect me to read a shit ton of books. So my like soft goal is just to get those 2 books done. Which actually, hold on, I'm curious really quick. Would that get me really close to like a bingo? Because I did put this randomly. No, it would not. It's not set up for that to allow me a bingo. So I wouldn't even be close. I'd definitely have to read more books in order for that to be a bingo. So I didn't even set myself up for success in that, and that was my choice. I'm the one that set up the bingo. Why make life easy? But either way, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you're participating in Hispanic Heritage Month in some form or some way. If you're going to now participate on Instagram in these events. If there's other events that you know about, let me know so I can try and participate or at least shout them out. Remember, yes, this is the Hispanic Heritage Month, and this is the month where we can shout out the loudest and should be highlighted. But we are around the rest of the year, in the rest of the 365 days a year, and it is important to read Latin, Hispanic authors and support content creators and game developers and all the arts people that are Latin and Hispanic, and all the definitions that are ours in this diaspora. Latinidad. I like that term better. It's easier for me to say. So support everyone all times. But right now is our special time to shine. So please, maybe read a little bit more of us. Play that game that you've been debating about, buying. It would be nice to buy it now. Repost and credit the Hispanic authors, or not authors, artists on Instagram. Again, credit is important. but shout them out, post them in your stories, get people to their stores. Right now is the time for us to shine. And like I said, thank you again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you're wanting to support me besides watching this video, I do have a Ko-fi. I have a Ream where you can read on Ko-fi and Ream. They're at two different starting points, but you can read my serialized story, Hunger Desire, which does have a Latino vampire in it. It is erotic romance, erotic paranormal romance. So be warned, it is definitely like R rating, definitely not child friendly. But you can check that out if you're wanting to support me or read something of mine. On Reading, the first two chapters are free for followers. All you have to do is follow, which is free. You can check that out there if you're wanting a non-money option or just to test it. And then besides that, the rest of the chapters are under first tier membership. And on Ko-fi, they're also under membership, same price. And you can support me there. I do stream twice a week. And yeah, that is it. That is my stuff. But thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys on whatever the next video is next month. But in the streams if you come hang out with me. All right. Tell stories and pass them.